I'm Valerie Lucas. I'm British mentally with indigenous sensibilities and a northern BC physical existence. I was born up in Fort St. John, and I'm currently speaking to you from the traditional territory of the TeNE in Prince George, BC. I believe in courage and perseverance. And to be honest, COVID hasn't really impacted me like it's impacted others. And that's partially a coincidence. I had actually stopped working as an elementary school teacher in January of 2020, right before COVID happened. I had registered for the MPAC program, hoping to get back into communications and transition away from teaching in elementary school, partially because life wasn't going as I expected, and also because communications had been my first love. I had began at University of the Fraser Valley in Abbotsford with a media studies degree, and then followed up with a degree from SFU in communications. And through co-op work experience, I worked in communications for a short time. Unfortunately, I proceeded to make different decisions after that and moved to northern Alberta, where I became an elementary school teacher. And I found that after the past 15 years of teaching in BC, it wasn't really working out the way I had originally predicted. So COVID, I've just been at home looking after my mom, my 2 kids, and my dog. I've been looking for work, and I've been studying. I take these courses really seriously. I kind of treat them like my job. So when I informed my boss in elementary school, in the Catholic school, that I would be pursuing this degree, he didn't like the idea of me taking the month off for the practicum, and we parted ways. Interestingly, there was no practicum, but I don't regret anything. I think it's worked out really good. My end goal is to have a communications job, hopefully entry level, because I haven't worked in communications very much since I was 20. And I'm no longer in my 20s. I appreciate that I'm not in the elementary school system in BC right now, dealing with this COVID, and I've been observing it through friends and colleagues. And I hope to someday maybe work for ministry and maybe make a difference. BC has some growth to do in online education, for example. What else? I have a superpower of speed talking. I'm not doing it now consciously, but I can fast talk. I can spell out every word of the whole sentence so fast that nobody except for my grade 5 teacher, Miss Huska, can follow what I'm saying. I can also type exceedingly fast. Some of my classmates can probably attest to the fact that I tend to transcribe the whole book, the whole textbook. I just transcribe it, and through my fingers, the content usually sticks. I find that I absorb information best by either talking or typing, and given that I live basically alone, I end up typing a lot. I think that a very important thing for an effective community of practice is humility. I think that a humble member of a team will understand that in order for apprenticeship to take place or communal growth, one has to sometimes step back and accept that they're not necessarily the best or most knowledgeable, and let other people have their voice. I also think that in a good community of practice, everyone needs to feel safe and appreciated, and I totally agree with some of the ideas that I've learned about community of practice, that it's sometimes great to accept that there's people outside of your own group or even religious values or current life situation that have extremely interesting and valuable things to share. And so I think it's important to be humble and see past your own biases. I think that everyone has superpowers, and a good community of practice will allow superpowers to shine through. I think that's it for today. Goodbye from the traditional territory of the TeNE in northern BC.